All right, hey, welcome to Thursday's Domenick's Flicks, where you get yourself entertainment news and movie reviews. And I talk major shit because I don't like a lot of things. I fucking don't like a lot of shit. All right, so, all right. Hey, I did a lot of work. Been doing a lot of work for these shows, so I'm gonna have to cut this shit down. I'm gonna have to do like one a week or something. Because this is taking up all my time for what? No, for no one? All right, good job. What a waste of time there, guy. All right, let's get into some movies I watched yesterday and get real excited about it, I'm sure. First one I watched another episode of Victoria on Masterpiece Theater. I give this one a nose up. It's from 2016. All right, it's it's about her ascension to the throne at just 18 years old in 1837. All right, I like period pieces, man. All right, I like period pieces. In fact, here are a couple more of my favorite period pieces. All right, you got Roseanne, 1989. This is the one where Darlene gets her first period during a baseball game. Right, and then another one I liked a lot was the Cosby Show, the one where Denise she helps Rudy understand what getting her period means. Yeah, those are two of my favorite period pieces. All right, hey, here's Lisa Bonet, right, with her two favorite dicks. Right? Both those dicks have been in her mouth. Some pretty good looking dicks though, right? They're pretty good looking, talented dicks though. All right, hey, this guy here, Bill Cosby, man, he did some bad things, right? He had like a after hour hobby he named after the old 1970s band Crosby, Stills and Nash. Yeah, he called it Cosby Smells Her Gash. What? That was written down. I write these jokes down and don't do anything else with my life for nothing, for nobody. Isn't that great? You're a smart guy, Domenick. You're a fucking smart person. Hey. All right, so there's Cosby smelling her gash. He's over here. He's licking those pudding pops, right? That's what he was doing. He's licking her pudding pops. He's all wiggling around doing his hand gestures while she's sleeping. All right, well, now the poor guy, he's like blind, Bill Cosby? He's like blind. But anytime he wants to, he can just lay in his bed, right? Close his eyes and remember the times when he used to wear those big, ugly sweaters and have great connections to Quaaludes. Good times, man. Good times, Bill. All right, next I watched a movie. And this movie got a nose up. It's from 1992. It's called A Midnight Clear, all right? It's a thoughtful, poetic war drama penned and directed by Keith Gordon, who I don't even know. Wow, good information. A Midnight Clear is based on William Wharton's 1982 novel. The film unfolds during the waning days of World War II in a snowy German forest. All the actors are really superb in this movie, all right? You got your... there's no women in the movie, so that actually there's no women like in the movie, right? There's no women in the movie. There's no women in the movie. Jesus Christ. Fucking pay attention, dick shit. Alright, no women. So there's no women making an appearance, like crying about how her high heel broke. Or she's like bored or something, wants you to entertain her. Right? Alright, well anyway, less women means great movie. Alright? Because look at these movies. Alright? You got yourself some Shawshank Redemption. You got Platoon. You got yourself The Thing. And you got yourself even the great 12 Angry Men was a good one. Alright? All these movies are what, 50 years old? You can't fucking come up with something recent? What if you have a more younger audience, dummy? You can't fucking think of one movie, huh? You old fucking idiot. Alright, let's keep going. Alright, so The Midnight Clearance stars a young Ethan Hawke right there. Alright, and you got Gary Sinise, right? And he recklessly signed a contract when he was young to only play in war movies. That's a true story. Alright, and you got and you got yourself Kevin Dillon's in the movie, all right? But somehow this guy didn't receive any of his brother's good looks, right? What happened there? His brother's like in teen magazines and shit, and this guy, look at this guy with his fucking pig nose, says the fucking guy with the ugliest nose ever, right? Yeah, okay there, buddy. That's a good... Alright, hey, let's move on. So yeah, what happened? He couldn't be, like, he couldn't stand up. He couldn't stand up. Alright, so yeah, Matt Dillon's better looking, is my point. Alright? Also in The Midnight Clear, you got Peter Berg, right? Peter Berg went on to direct Mark Wahlberg in some movies because, you know, those fucking Jewbergs have to stay together, I guess, right? Pretty fucking prejudiced there, Bergs, all right? All right, just because fucking Mark Underwear Wahlberg... All right. Motherfuck. Jesus fucking. All right, just because Mark Wahlberg lights a menorah every Hanukkah doesn't mean you can't hire Leo Caprio to be in your movie, Mr. Peter Berg. All right? Quit being so fucking... Is it racist? I'm not a smart guy. What's the difference? Alright, let's move on. Alright, I watched another movie. This movie is called fucking Night Always Comes 2025. Alright, this gets a fucking double nose down. Like this. Okay? It's got Vanessa Kirby, who plays a whore that blames her trashy lifestyle on all men. Alright, from the fucking guy who doesn't want to hear her sob story and wonders why she looks like shit, to the guy at the bank who is going to take her house because even after all that spreading her legs, she still can't pay her fucking bills. This ain't a picture of that guy, though. This is just her thinking about that when she had to talk to that guy. She had a real rough time in this dramatic movie. All right, hey. But hey, let's throw a retard into the mix too, just for extra Oscar buzz. All right? So don't forget to put that into the movie. All right, so you got Vanessa Kirby, you know, she's super hot, which makes it like extremely difficult to give a fucking shit about her character. You know, because there's ugly people that can't pay their bills too. And they don't have the luxury of sucking dick on the side. They have to work real jobs. All right? Hooker. All right. So, yeah. So, yeah. All right. With this face, you could pretty much be anything you want, even a hack actress, I wrote. So maybe Night Always Comes. You should miss that one, nose down. And curby your enthusiasm, because Vanessa Kirby stinks in this movie. All right, let's get to some entertainment news. All right, that's all I watched. So let's get to some entertainment news that's current. You know, you can get your current entertainment news here on this channel. So let's do it right now. All right, Tracee Ellis Ross's home was targeted in a burglary. What? Actress Tracee Ellis Ross became the latest celebrity to fall victim to California crime spree while she was out of town. Thieves broke into her Los Angeles home and made off with over $100,000 in jewelry and designer handbags. Shit, dude, that's probably nothing to you, Tracee Ellis Ross, with all your Blackish money, right? So what are you complaining about? Right? That's probably a drop in the bucket for you, girl. All right. I bet the burglars didn't steal any of her African art, though, huh? Like her terracotta statues, or her yellow and red giraffes, or her African face masks hanging on the wall. They probably let those ones be, huh? All right. Well, Tracee Ellis Ross is from the show Blackish, right? With Anthony Anderson as the star, who used to be a fucking big, fat, fucking giant guy with fucking diabetes. And now he's just a skinny fuck with diabetes. He wants to sell you some super sugary fucking sweet barbecue sandwiches at Arby's because he's a sellout hypocrite and he wants to make sure everyone else gets fucking diabetes, right, Anthony Anderson? Is it Anderson? All right. And make sure you bring along your buddy Cedric the Entertainer so he can fucking be a fat diabetic just like you, sellouts. All right. All right, that Blackish show, right? It also had Lawrence Fishburne, remember? He was the grandfather in the show, huh? And here, this is Lawrence Fishburne right here. He's always fucking burning his fish. That's what this... All right. You remember Lawrence Fishburne in the movie Boys in the Hood? Right here, where fucking Cuba Gooding Jr. overreacts and makes a lot of weird frowny faces the whole movie, right? He's like, does like a little frowny twitch. He does a frowny twitch. Look, man. What do you want from me? All right? What do you guys want from me? Want fucking perfection? Jesus. Dude. Get it together, bro. Get it together. All right, where were we? God. All right, so there's Cuba Gooding Jr. with his frowny face. All right. He'll carry that face right on over to Jerry Maguire though, and he'll jump up and down and get himself a fucking Oscar that he fucking definitely don't deserve, never deserved. All right, so that's Cuba Gooding Jr.'s life. All right, I don't know what happened there. Went from Ellis Ross to Cuba, right? All right, Tracy Ross's mom is fucking Diana Ross. Do you guys know that? All right. Remember when Diana Ross sang that song Upside Down? Right? It was like upside down, you turn me inside out and round. I mean, that song was about her getting straight up manhandled and fucked hardcore, right? I bet Tracy Ellis Ross was straight up conceived, right? From this era right here. Because she was fucking wanting some fucking hardcore fucking. Because that's the whole song's about it. All right. In fact, those women in the 70s, they like to sing about, getting fucking drilled, I think. Remember those songs? Like the Pointer Sisters, remember them? They were like, fucking, I'm so excited, I'm about to lose control, and I think I like it. Like their whole thing is about coming all over the big dicks. They wanted to get fucked, right? Other than like today's women, right? They're scared. They're scared of penises, right? Because penises are evil. Penises are evil. All right, let's move on. Hey, you guys remember when Diana Ross was in the movie The Wiz? Huh? When she played a crispy charred old Dorothy in the black version of The Wiz? You guys remember that? Huh? And she was with that one guy, the fucking child slumber party host, the fucking chimpanzee collector, the fucking nose butcher, fucking Jackson. Remember that guy? All right. Here is a fucking picture of when he was normal and black. All right. All right, so they're going to fucking ease on down that road, remember? They're going to ease on down. So what does that fucking mean? Does that mean that they're going to walk with rhythm and shit because they're black? Because white people don't have like any rhythm, right? Is that the point? All right, well, tell that to fucking Ben Crosby and fucking Fred Astaire. Tell it to them, because it looks to me like these two are easing on down the fucking road 20 years before you. All right? Let's move on. All right, and in The Wiz, remember the wizard himself was Richard Pryor, right? He was the wizard, and he was like, y'all remember, y'all ever take a shit and you're pushing really hard and one little pebble come out your asshole? Remember, that's what he was doing in that movie? And he's like, y'all ever take a shit and you look down and the shit, it just vanished. Where'd it go? I mean, where did it fucking go? Right? Is that what he was doing in The Wiz? I don't remember. I haven't seen that shit. I haven't seen The Wiz, like, since I was 12, maybe? All right. So, I don't know. Send me your comments. What was he? Why is he dressed like this in The Wiz? Like he's got a bathrobe on. Why does The Wiz, look like he just woke up and he's got bedhead? I don't remember the movie. All right. He don't look very cool though to me. All right, so let's move on here. Hey, you guys remember when Richard Pryor was in The Toy? Huh? That was when this was a movie about the guy Jackie Gleason. He buys Richard Pryor. He purchases him to own. Huh? You guys remember that? It was a good movie. I remembered it. All right. Hey, wouldn't it be cool to own own Richard Pryor? That'd be fun. Huh? I think it'd be cool if we could own like a little Kevin Hart, right? You can dress him up in funny clown clothes, and you can have him entertain your kids for you. You can teach your kids how to be walking black stereotypes, right? Why don't you do that? All right, hey, do you remember when NWA, they made Wizard of Oz fucking Compton version? You remember? It was called fucking Straight Outta Kansas, right? The main character was called Dorothiqua, and she walked around with her little pit bull toe-to-toe. Huh? You guys remember? She followed the Gold Chain Road and met the Scare Cuz, fucking DJ Yella, right? And then she met the Ren Man, right? MC Ren. And then she met the Frowny Face Lion, played by Ice Cube. Eventually, she meets the Wizard of AIDS, played by Eazy-E. At the end, she taps her Air Jordans 3 times, and she's back in Africa with anti-malaria. That was the most slamming version, I think, of the movie. That was the most slamming Wizard of Oz. You guys gotta check it. It's from 1994. Put it in. It's called Straight Outta Kansas. It's a crazy ass version. So stupid when you do bits like that. Dumb fluff. Yeah, fluff. Well, I liked it. Fuck, dude. Who's gonna watch this shit? I will. So, leave me alone. It's funny. All right, give me a thumbs, give me a like, man. I wrote these out. Whatever then. All right. Oh man, let's get to some other news. Oh, Hulu is introducing All's Fair, a glossy new series with an all-female ensemble, including Nancy Nash Betts, Glenn Close, Kim Kardashian, Naomi Watts, and Sarah Paulson. All right, I'm sure the set doesn't smell like a fucking fish market, minstrel fish market mixed with sweat from the woman's struggle in the man's world. All right, so, hey, in like 10 years, when you guys are completely in charge and you forget that white men used to run things, and now who are you going to blame when everything goes to shit, women? Huh? Whose fault will everything be when you can't blame it all on the white guy? Huh, women? Maybe it'll take a little bit of responsibility for your own fucking horribleness. All right, that's my protest segment. All right. So anyway, off screen, these women bonded. They even threw a party at Kris Jenner's where fucking Glenn Close cooked the rabbit and hey, shut it. Thank you. I'll be out in a minute. Jesus Christ. Let's start over that one. Off screen, the women bonded, even throwing a pajama party at Kris Jenner's where Glenn Close cooked the rabbit. Nancy Nash Betts and Kim Kardashian brought their stinky ass waffs like poopery. Naomi Watts brought 21 grams of cocaine, and snobby Sarah Paulson brought her elderly lesbian wife that's old enough to be her grandmother because, hey, Sarah Paulson, you don't have no issues, right? You got it all together. All right, what happened, Sarah? Your uncle fiddled you once? Huh? All right. So this big group of winners here, or should I say whiners, huh? With their anti-white show. Like, we don't have enough fucking women crap shows already, right? Like The Hunting Wives and Sirens and The Morning Show. Fucking give me a break, people. All right, let's do one last thing, all right, before we head on out. That's what movie is in the works. All right, this is a movie that's in production, and it'll probably come out next year. So let's see what today's is, all right? Today's is fucking, they're making a Supergirl movie, all right? This will be the second film in the new DC universe, all right? Starring Millie Alcock and featuring an intergalactic revenge narrative, all right? Filming wrapped in mid-2025, release date June 2026. All right? Millie Alcock wants all the cock, I heard, right? Did you know that? She wants all cock in her butt. All right, anyway. She's kind of hot sometimes, but sometimes she's fucking like, sometimes... All right, the picture ain't there, so let's just move on, huh? All right. All right, make sure you pretend to like this shit show, House of Fagins. All right, another female-driven show that stinks. That's all I got for you, man. That's gonna be it for the week. And I'll probably see you again next Thursday. We'll do one a week now, because, you know, you guys don't deserve more than one a week. Because there ain't nobody out there. There ain't nobody out there, right? If I was like some fucking pink-colored gay guy and I loved everything. Taylor Swift! Oh my God! I fucking hate everything, though. It ain't gonna get me. That's not gonna get me nowhere. What am I doing? All right. So, hey, don't forget to like this video. And subscribe to, subscribe to a book club and read a fucking book. You ever tried that? Good job.